Hello everyone, today is lesson 7.7, area and mixed numbers. It's a pretty short day, pretty easy day. First, I would like to tell you that to find the product of two mixed numbers, you do not have to show an area model. They show you how, but you do not have to. Do not let an area model confuse you. All you need to do are change all of the mixed numbers into improper fractions and multiply straight across. On the first one, 2 1/4 times 1 1/2. Since they showed you a picture, I will explain it. On the whiteboard, I have some work for you. If you do exactly what I said, and you change 2 1/4 to 9/4, and you change 1 1/2 to 3/2, you get 27/8, which is when you divide it out 3 3/8. Now you may say, well, Mr. Gralla, how did they get the dimensions of that picture? Well, if you look, the least common denominator between 2 and 4 is going to be 4. So since 2 1/4 equaled 9/4, if you count down, there's our 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now since this is 3 over 2, 3 over 2 equals how many over 4? 6 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is how they got their picture. All you need to do, though, is change these mixed numbers into improper fractions, multiply straight across, and then do your long division to get your answer as a mixed number. Number 2, same thing. Now what's nice here is both denominators are 3. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5/3. That's why it is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. That's why it is across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on our whiteboards, let me erase that first one and let's do the work. So we said 1 2/3 equals 1 2/3 equals 5/3 times 2 1/3 would equal 7/3. That is how I get 35/9. Mr. Gralla, I can't do that 35 divided by 9 in my head. Okay, then let's do long division. 9 goes into 35 3 times. 9 times 3 is 27. Subtract. That is now my numerator. My denominator never changes. My denominator never changes. So see, you do not need to draw that area model to find those. Let's look at the answers, and I'll help explain the rest of your work. Scroll down too far. So, number 3. 1 3/4 times 2 1/2. All you have to make that is 7 over 4 times 5 over 2. 7 over 4 times 5 over 2. So if we look at that, seven times 5 is 35. 4 times 2 is 8. If you do your long division, 8 goes into 35 4 times with the remainder of 3. My denominator never changes. Number 4. 2 2/3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 1 1/3. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 8 times 4 is 32, divided by 9. Okay, 9 goes into 32 3 times. 9 times 3 is 27, so my remainder is 5. My denominator never changes. 3 and 5/9. And finally, number 5. 3 3/4 times 2 1/2. Let's erase these two. 3 3/4. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Number 5. So 15 over, my denominator never changes, times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, over 2. We have some big numbers here. Can we use cancellation? No, there is no common factors between 15 and 2, or between 4 and 5 besides 1, and a factor of 1 will not help you. So 15 times 5. If you have to come to the side like this and say 15 times 5 is 75, that's okay. 4 times 2 is 8. You should know your times tables. Knowing your times tables will help you a lot, because when we have our 75, divided by 8, I know that 8 times 9 is 72, with the remainder of 3 over 8. Once again, if you need to do long division, that is okay. If you need to do long division, that is okay. And now finally, the last two, problem solving. Don't worry. All it is a word problem, but you're still doing the same math. Ava's bedroom rug is 2 3/4 feet long. This rug may be Harry Potter, as some of you may know, and 2 1/2 feet wide. What's the area of the rug? Okay, let's just change 2 3/4 to an improper fraction. 2 3/4 to an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. 2 1/2. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Same thing. They're not giving us any numbers where we can use cancellation in these ones. 55 over 8. But I can tell you that 8 goes into 55. Well, 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 7 is 56. That's too much. 8 times 6 is 48, with the remainder of 7. And now with word problems, as you know, some of you were very happy we did not have your Erie Diocese test, but please practice, especially since this is 5th grade for middle school, please practice your labels. Remember, whenever you are finding area, it will always be squared. So you could either put square feet like they have on the answer key, or remember, you can also have feet with a little 2. That little 2 shows you squared. That's what that means. And finally, number 7. A painting is 2 2/3 feet long and 1 1/2 feet high. What's the area of the painting? 2 2/3. 2 2/3 would be 8/3 times 1 1/2 would be 3/2. Ooh, this one I can use cancellation. Look at common factor between 3 and 3 is 3. Common factor of 8 and 2 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. So that is just 4 feet. And remember, area is always squared. Area is always squared. So, as you can see, you do not have to draw models to find the answer to a mixed number multiplied by another mixed number. All you need to do are change them to improper fractions and multiply straight across. I hope that this was a great help. Please do not overthink this, and have a great day, everyone.